Welcome to Phantastik Phacts, your gateway to the mysterious and captivating world of Halloween. If you've ever wondered about the eerie origins, spooky traditions, and the history behind this beloved holiday, you've come to the right place. In today's video, we're unveiling fascinating Halloween facts that will send shivers down your spine and illuminate the rich tapestry of this bewitching celebration. From the origins of jack-o'-lanterns to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, we'll unravel the mysteries that make Halloween a holiday like no other. Prepare to be enchanted by tales of soul cakes, the great pumpkin, and the history of trick-or-treating. Dive deep into the traditions of souling, guising, and the first jack-o'-lanterns, and discover the chilling legends of the Wicker Man and Halloween as a mischief night. Join us on this supernatural journey through history, folklore, and fun as we explore the fascinating connections between Halloween and the Roman festival of Pomona, the Celtic god Muck Olla, and the French feast of Toussaint. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the spookiest, most intriguing, and fantastic facts about Halloween. Get ready to embrace the magic of the holiday season like never before, only here on Phantastik Phacts. Soul cakes are a historically significant part of Halloween's evolution. In medieval Europe, particularly in the British Isles, there was a tradition known as souling. This custom was a precursor to modern-day trick-or-treating. During the All-Hallowtide season, which included Halloween, All Hallows Eve, All Saints' Day, and All Souls' Day, poor individuals, often children, would go from house to house and offer to pray for the souls of the homeowner's deceased loved ones. In exchange, they received small, round, spiced cakes called soul cakes. The tradition of souling was closely tied to the belief in purgatory and the idea that prayers could help the souls of the departed move on to heaven. By distributing soul cakes, people hoped to earn spiritual merit and alleviate the suffering of the deceased. Soul cakes were usually marked with a cross, which symbolized their intended purpose, and they contained ingredients such as spices, currants, and other dried fruits. The act of giving and receiving soul cakes was a form of charity and a way to reinforce the sense of community during this sacred time. Over time, souling evolved into the custom of children going door to door on Halloween, saying trick or treat and receiving candies and other treats. The modern tradition retains elements of the original soul cake tradition, emphasizing the idea of sharing and community during the Halloween season. The Great Pumpkin is a concept popularized by Charles M. Schulz's Peanuts comic strip, an animated television special titled "It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown." The Great Pumpkin, while a humorous and whimsical part of Halloween pop culture, has a more nuanced history. In the Peanuts special, Linus Van Pelt, a character known for his security blanket and unwavering belief in the Great Pumpkin, spends Halloween night sitting in a pumpkin patch, waiting for this mythical figure to appear. Linus is convinced that the Great Pumpkin will rise from the most sincere pumpkin patch and bring presents to those who believe in it, similar to Santa Claus. The Great Pumpkin, in the context of Peanuts, is a light-hearted parody of the more traditional and commercial aspects of Halloween, such as the emphasis on trick-or-treating for candy. Linus's unwavering faith in the Great Pumpkin, despite never seeing it, is a humorous take on the idea of blind faith. The concept of the Great Pumpkin may also draw on the Celtic belief in the Great Gourd, or Great Pumpkin, which symbolized the harvest season and abundance. In this sense, the Great Pumpkin can be seen as a playful homage to the agricultural and harvest themes that are intertwined with Halloween's history. While the Great Pumpkin remains a beloved and enduring part of Halloween lore, it serves as a reminder that Halloween traditions can encompass both the lighthearted and the more solemn aspects of the holiday. Halloween greeting cards, often featuring spooky or comical imagery, have a rich history dating back to the late 19th century. These cards played a significant role in celebrating and sharing the spirit of Halloween. The tradition of sending Halloween cards can be traced back to the late 19th century, when the popularity of Halloween was on the rise in the United States. Just like Christmas cards, these Halloween cards were a way for people to convey their well wishes and celebrate the holiday with friends and family. Early Halloween cards often featured intricate and charming designs. They were adorned with imagery such as witches, black cats, pumpkins, bats, and other Halloween symbols. Some cards even included lighthearted and humorous verses or rhymes related to the holiday. In addition to the imagery, these cards were often created with novelty features, including die-cut designs, embossing, and pop-up elements, making them even more special and collectible. Halloween cards served as a means of expressing affection, much like Valentine's Day cards, and were also a way to connect with loved ones who were far away. These cards helped spread the excitement of Halloween and contributed to the commercialization of the holiday. While the practice of sending Halloween cards has somewhat waned in recent years, it remains a charming and nostalgic aspect of Halloween's history, harkening back to a time when the holiday was celebrated with creativity, artistry, and a sense of community. The phrase "trick or treat" is closely associated with Halloween and has its origins in North America in the early 20th century. This Halloween tradition was developed as a way to encourage a more controlled and orderly celebration of the holiday, particularly among children. Halloween in the United States had a history of mischief and pranks, where young people engaged in various acts of vandalism and mischief on October 31st. These activities were disruptive and sometimes destructive. Communities and adults were concerned about these Halloween pranks, which could range from harmless to destructive. In an attempt to channel the energy of young revelers into a more harmless and structured form of celebration, the phrase "trick or treat" was introduced. The earliest documented use of the phrase "trick or treat" in its modern sense was in 1927 in Alberta, Canada. It was printed in a newspaper article that described children going door to door and asking for treats. Trick or treat became more widely known during the Great Depression. In the economically challenging 1930s, it was seen as a way for children to request treats or small gifts, such as candy or coins, from their neighbors. The implication was that if the treats were not provided, a prank or trick might follow. Over time, the tradition of trick or treat evolved into the familiar Halloween custom we know today, with children dressing up in costumes and going from house to house, saying trick or treat and receiving candies and other treats. Trick or treat has served to foster a sense of community and neighborly interaction during Halloween, while also providing a safer and more structured way for children to enjoy the holiday. The threat of tricks has largely been replaced by the emphasis on treats. The phrase "trick or treat" encapsulates the transition from Halloween as a night of pranks and mischief to a holiday centered around costumes and the exchange of sweets, contributing to the festive and family-friendly character of Halloween today. apples have a deep-rooted connection to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, which is considered one of the precursors to modern-day Halloween. Samhain was a significant and sacred celebration marking the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, and it had a strong focus on the spirits of the deceased. Samhain was celebrated from sunset on October 31st to sunset on November 1st. It was believed to be a time when the veil between the living and the spirit world was at its thinnest, allowing spirits and otherworldly beings to cross over into the human realm. Apples were an important part of Samhain traditions. They were seen as sacred fruits and were often used in divination practices. One common Samhain divination ritual involved peeling an apple in one long, continuous strip and then tossing the peel over one's shoulder. The shape that the peel formed on the ground was believed to reveal the initial of one's future spouse or provide insights into one's future. The practice of apple bobbing, a popular Halloween game, also has its origins in these Samhain apple traditions. It was believed that by bobbing for apples, one could connect with the spirit world and gain insights into their future. Apples held special significance during Samhain. They represented the harvest and the cycle of life and death. The apple's round shape and vibrant color made it a symbol of life and vitality, while the act of harvesting apples marked the end of the growing season. Over time, these apple-related Samhain traditions, including divination and apple bobbing, merged with Halloween customs. Apples continue to play a role in various Halloween activities and games, and they are still associated with the holiday today. The use of apples in divination and games during Samhain underscores the spiritual and agricultural aspects of this ancient Celtic festival, connecting it to the modern celebration of Halloween, which combines elements of the supernatural with the harvest season. Souling and guising are early forms of Halloween customs that have deep historical roots, particularly in the British Isles, and they laid the foundation for the modern practices of trick-or-treating and wearing costumes. Souling was a tradition that originated in medieval Europe, particularly in England and Ireland. During the Christian holiday of All Hallowtide, which included Halloween, All Hallows Eve, All Saints' Day, and All Souls' Day, people, often the poor, would go souling. This involved visiting houses and offering to pray for the souls of the homeowner's deceased loved ones. In exchange for these prayers, they would receive small, round, spiced cakes known as soul cakes. The souling tradition was based on the belief that souls of the deceased needed prayers to move from purgatory to heaven. By distributing soul cakes, people hoped to earn spiritual merit and help the souls of the departed. Guising, on the other hand, is a Scottish term for the practice of dressing in costumes and going door to door for treats, songs, or entertainment. This custom was especially prevalent in Scotland and Ireland. During guising, participants would often recite verses, sing songs, or perform tricks in exchange for small gifts or treats. These tricks could be playful and light-hearted. Guising had its roots in traditions like mumming, where people would wear masks and costumes and perform door-to-door during various holidays, including Halloween. The term guising comes from disguising, as participants would disguise their identities with masks and costumes. Over time, the traditions of souling and guising began to merge and evolve into the modern practice of trick-or-treating. Children dressed in costumes would go from house to house, saying "trick or treat," and receive candies and other treats. This practice retained elements of both souling's charitable aspect and guising's spirit of performance. These early customs, rooted in the celebration of All Hallowtide, played a significant role in shaping the communal and festive aspects of Halloween as we know it today. The tradition of carving jack-o'-lanterns, which is a hallmark of modern Halloween, has a fascinating history with its roots in Celtic and European folklore. The practice of carving vegetables, particularly turnips, into lanterns can be traced back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. Samhain marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter. It was believed that during this time, the boundary between the world of the living and the world of the dead became thin, allowing spirits to cross over. In Ireland and Scotland, people originally used turnips for carving lanterns. They would hollow out turnips, carve frightening faces into them, and place a lit candle inside. These lanterns were intended to ward off evil spirits and protect the household. The term jack-o'-lantern likely originated from the Irish folk tale of Stingy Jack, a trickster who roamed the earth carrying a hollowed-out turnip lantern. In the 19th century, Irish and Scottish immigrants brought their Halloween traditions, including the practice of carving lanterns, to North America. They found that pumpkins, which were more readily available in the New World and larger in size, were ideal for carving. Pumpkins became the preferred choice for carving jack-o'-lanterns, gradually replacing turnips. Their size and ease of carving made them the perfect canvas for creative designs. Over time, the jack-o'-lantern evolved from being primarily protective to becoming a symbol of Halloween itself. Carving pumpkins with intricate and sometimes humorous faces has become a popular tradition for families and communities during the Halloween season. Jack-o'-lanterns are traditionally lit with candles, creating a warm and eerie glow. The creative aspect of carving pumpkins has grown, with people designing intricate and artistic patterns and scenes. Today, the carving of pumpkins into jack-o'-lanterns is an iconic and cherished part of Halloween festivities, connecting contemporary celebrations with the ancient traditions of Samhain and the early Irish and Scottish settlers in North America. Halloween has a history of being associated with mischief and pranks, particularly in North America. This connection between Halloween and Mischief Night can be traced back to various traditions and events. The roots of Halloween's mischievous side can be traced to the early Celtic festivals, particularly Samhain. During Samhain, people would engage in various activities, including playing pranks on neighbors and creating general mischief. This aspect of the holiday was carried over by Scottish and Irish immigrants to North America. In the United States and Canada, Halloween celebrations in the 18th and 19th centuries often included playful pranks and tricks. These pranks could range from harmless activities like doorbell ringing and swapping signs to more disruptive behaviors, such as overturning outhouses and other acts of vandalism. The increase in mischievous behavior led to community efforts to curb Halloween pranks. As a response to the growing concern about Halloween vandalism, some communities began organizing events and festivities to provide children with alternative, structured activities. This included Halloween parties and parades. One of the key factors in transforming Halloween from a night of mischief to a more family-friendly celebration was the introduction of the phrase, "trick or treat." This phrase provided children with a socially acceptable way to ask for treats, emphasizing the treat-giving aspect of Halloween and diverting the focus away from pranks and vandalism. Over time, Halloween evolved into a more community-oriented and family-friendly holiday. Trick-or-treating, costume parties, and the carving of jack-o'-lanterns became the central activities, and Halloween mischief largely gave way to these more controlled and enjoyable customs. While Halloween's association with Mischief Night has diminished significantly, echoes of this past can still be found in the playful pranks and tricks often associated with the holiday. However, modern Halloween emphasizes fun, creativity, and community, making it a more positive and festive occasion. The concept of the Wicker Man is an ancient practice and belief tied to Celtic and pagan traditions, particularly associated with the festival of Beltane, but it also has relevance to the broader context of harvest festivals and rituals. The Wicker Man is a large, human-shaped effigy made from wicker or other flammable materials. The practice of creating and burning wicker men dates back to ancient Celtic and pagan traditions, particularly during the festival of Beltane. These festivals marked significant points in the agricultural calendar, including the beginning of summer. The Wicker Man served as a symbolic representation of the deities and the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. In some instances, the effigy was constructed to represent the Green Man, a deity associated with the life force of plants and nature. Burning the Wicker Man symbolized a sacrifice to ensure a bountiful harvest. The burning of wicker men could have different purposes in different cultures and time periods. In some cases, it was seen as a form of protection against evil spirits, ensuring a fertile and prosperous year. In others, it was a way to mark the changing of seasons and celebrate the natural world. The concept of the Wicker Man gained renewed attention and popularity in the 20th century, largely due to the 1973 British horror film The Wicker Man. In the film, a police officer investigates strange occurrences on a remote Scottish island, only to discover that the islanders plan to burn him in a giant wicker man as part of their pagan beliefs. The Wicker Man film, as well as the broader mythology of the Wicker Man, has had a lasting influence on contemporary culture and has become a symbol of eerie and folkloric horror. While the Wicker Man tradition is not directly associated with Halloween, it exemplifies the deep connections between ancient Celtic and pagan festivals and the harvest season, which in turn played a significant role in shaping the customs and beliefs associated with modern Halloween. Fear of Halloween, also known as Samhainophobia, is a psychological phenomenon where individuals experience an irrational and intense fear or anxiety related to Halloween. While Halloween is a festive and enjoyable holiday for many, some people may develop anxiety or phobias associated with it. Here's a deeper look into this fear. Samhainophobia can have various underlying causes. For some individuals, it may be related to a fear of the unknown or supernatural elements often associated with Halloween, such as ghosts, witches, or monsters. Past negative experiences during Halloween or traumatic events may also contribute to this fear. The portrayal of Halloween in horror movies, television shows, and other media can intensify feelings of fear and unease related to the holiday. These portrayals often emphasize the spooky and supernatural aspects of Halloween, which can trigger anxiety in some viewers. Some people with Samhainophobia may experience heightened anxiety when encountering individuals wearing Halloween costumes or masks. The concealment of one's identity and the fear of the unknown can contribute to this fear. In some cases, cultural or religious beliefs may play a role in Samhainophobia. Certain cultures or religious backgrounds may view Halloween as a negative or inappropriate holiday, contributing to a fear of it. For individuals experiencing extreme fear or anxiety related to Halloween, treatment options are available. These may include therapy, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, to address the underlying causes of the fear and develop coping strategies. It's important to acknowledge that Samhainophobia, while real for some individuals, is not a common or widespread condition. For most people, Halloween is a fun and enjoyable holiday, and the fear of Halloween is a relatively rare phenomenon. Thank you for joining us on this exhilarating journey through the realm of Halloween facts. We hope you've enjoyed uncovering the mysteries, legends, and enchanting history behind this extraordinary holiday. If you thirst for more mind-boggling, fantastic facts and intriguing stories, don't forget to browse our channel for a treasure trove of knowledge on a wide range of fascinating topics. From the supernatural to the historical, we're here to spark your curiosity and expand your horizons. And as always, your feedback is our lifeblood. So, please leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. We'd love to hear which Halloween fact intrigued you the most, or any other topics you'd like us to explore in the future. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. That way, you'll be the first to know when we unveil our next batch of Phantastik Phacts. Thank you again for being a part of our incredible community. Until next time, stay curious, stay spooktacular, and stay tuned for more mind-bending, fantastic facts. Happy Halloween!